All right, you both should be back. What I did during the break is I didn't even leave my seat, but I went back and rewrote the next 3 or 4 so they do now work. But before we do that, we've talked about this one already. Do you have any questions at all on doing an insert query?
No.
All right. Does this one here make sense?
Yes.
And if we wanted to just check just for me, I would make that equals, and I would make that just an in statement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You don't have to write this down or anything, but I'm just going to quickly type something in here. I'm going to remove it right away. But what if I wanted to say this? What if I wanted to say select customer first name, customer last name from customers where customer city, no, let's do state, where customer state equals Washington, or customer state equals Texas, or customer state equals California. Okay, are you both cool with that as far as what's happening there?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's a lot of typing. So the reason that you use this in statement is I would say customer state in, then in a parenthesized list, I would put Washington, comma, well, let's just do it this way. Texas, comma, California. Can you see all the typing that saved me?
Yes.
I mean, using in, and we may or may not see it on this one, but there's another one between, which I think I've shown you for like ranges. It's recommended that you use these. Writing it the other way, like I showed you before, where you said customer state equals WA or customer state equals, that's a programmatic way to do it. But doing it this way by using in and between and like and some of the other operators, those are operators that have been written and created just to be used with SQL. So the recommendation is whenever possible, you use those. So you might say, well, that's fine, but what if I don't even know whether or not they exist? You go out to the documentation then. That's about all I can tell you. All right. So this one, we changed this. This gave us the customer's first name, the customer's last name, the order ID, the product ID, and the quoted price. All right. And you'll notice, or you did notice, that those actually came from, those actually came from 3 different tables: the customers table, the orders table, the order detail table. Now, the field customer first name only exists in the customer table. This only exists in the customer table. So you don't have to say C dot here or here. It would still work. So why did I do that? Because what I'm doing here is I'm doing what's calling qualifying my database field names by letting the system know, and anybody who looks at the query know, what table each one of these is coming from. It can say C, oh, that's customers. O, oh, that's orders. OD, oh, that's order details. You don't have to do that. All right. But when you do it here, see how we've got the same field name in both? You either have to do it like this, like we did it with aliasing these, or if we didn't do any aliasing here, we'd have to say where customers dot customer ID equals orders dot order or dot customer ID and orders dot order ID equals order details dot order ID. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So really, again, that's typically why you go in and you alias. And the other type of alias, so that's aliasing table names. And I already mentioned to you why you alias field names. You can both figure that out, I'm sure. Then we went over this one. And again, you saw the big differences between using an and using an or. When we did an and, we were as restrictive as possible. But we did use ors in here because we wanted to say that the first name started with an A, E, I, or a U, but also the last name had to end with an A, E, I, or a U. So even though we have an or a bunch of ors in here, because of the fact that we had an and here versus having an or here, an and is more restrictive. With the and, we only had 1 row returned. With the or, we had 7 rows returned. And it may not seem like, well, that's not that many rows, but really we went up from 1 out of 28 to 7 out of 28. So we jumped up from about 3.5% to 25%. So again, and is more restrictive or is less restrictive. We've talked about this in class under the context of using C#. So my guess is it probably makes sense to you. But again, what I'm trying to do is more than anything else is show you there are a lot of tie-ins between what we're doing here. Some people consider SQL to be a programming language. Some people say, no, it's just a database language. But what I'm just trying to show you here is when we're running these queries, it really and truly doesn't matter if it's a database language or if it's a programming language, because we're writing the equivalent of programmatic statements. All right, with that said, then let's go on. The next one here, and don't worry, I'll copy it over in just a second. The next 3 at least should work. That's all I had time to do. But it says, show the query to select all category descriptions. Hopefully you remember the first table that we put in yesterday was the categories table. Each category had an ID and each category had a description. The description were things like bikes, tires, or wheels, whatever, accessories, and stuff like that. So we want all those descriptions, all those product names, and all those product prices. So we want the category description, the product name, and the product price. The problem is that the category description exists in the categories table. The product name and product price exist in the products table. So again, we have to do a join here. And I'm showing you still the old-fashioned join. All right? And with the old-fashioned join, the way I'm showing it to you right here is going to be different than the way we're looking at it down with the next 2, because there we use the new way of doing a join. All right? I'm going to ask that you come in here and you try to rewrite this query. I want you to put in this one, but underneath it, I want you to rewrite it using this syntax. Now, I'm going to help you with the first one, all right, just so you see it. But I'm going to grab this, and it says I should get 40 rows back, all right? So let's see if indeed I do. So I've got to end my share here and go back over to here. Can you both see my PHP, my admin window now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put this in. So again, please look at this. What I'm telling the system here is what I want it to do is to go over to the categories table and find me every category description. Go over to the products table and find me every product name and find me every product price. But the category description comes from this table. The product name and product price come from this table. Do it only when they're the same. So when I do what's called an AWD join, all right, then it works. So let's see. I think I get 40 records back if it works. All right, so what do we have? There's my accessory. So under accessories, those are all the ones we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 accessories. Here's the name of each one. Here's the price of each one. And you'll notice, I think we did it in descending order based on the price. Can you see that? All right. Then we have our bikes. And you'll notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes. And again, in descending order. Then we've got 2 car racks in descending order. Then 1 clothing here. And on the next page, come on, we've got more clothing. So there's 3 total clothings. And then finally, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 components and 3 wheels. So what I am interested in knowing from you then is, and I'm going to put this back so you can copy it in. But when you look at that query, does what we're doing make sense to you?
Yes.
All right, so put that one in, and then we're going to go back and try to rewrite it using the new query syntax. Is this clicking a little bit for you? I mean, is it making some sense? Can you see where it would be helpful to have something like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's think about Rankin. All right, I had one of my second year students ask me before he graduates, he'd like to join Phi Theta Kappa, and you're both welcome to join it. I think you need a GPA of 3.5 or above. And Angie, I don't know if you have a GPA yet. But, and Keegan, I'm not sure what yours is from your gen ed classes, but I know you've got an A from me. The disadvantage of joining it is it costs 75 bucks. The advantage of joining it is that's a really good thing to put on your resume. All right. Well, the reason I'm telling you this is what if Crystal Heron, who's one of the VPs at Rankin, what if she comes in and says to her admin assistant, hey, I'd like a listing of the name of everybody who's in Phi Theta Kappa, their GPA, and what program they're in. Guess what? All that information is in a database in different tables. So the admin assistant or somebody else is going to have to come in and write something like this. All right, so all I'm trying to tell you is this is used all over the place. All right, did you have a chance to put this in yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it run?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm doing this off the top of my head, so we're going to see whether or not what I'm putting in here is right or not. So I'm going to say inner join categories C on products P. All right. Where? Yeah. Let me see if that works. I should get the same records I got back. Right syntax using inner join. Okay. All right. Well, I was doing it off the top of my head. So let me look back here. Ah, okay. I did have wrong syntax. Okay. So I do want to say from that, inner join. I think that's on. I think that's right. We're going to find out. I hate the pink screen. All right. Well, I think I know what I did wrong there. So, all right. That didn't help, did it? Product price. From category C, inner join products P on. Well, let's see if that's right. Hey, 40, just like we had before, and it's the same information, right? You see that? So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put in that query right now and make sure you copy the first one that we already did, copy that one, and then copy this one underneath it onto your worksheet. Does what I said make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a second to do that. Just so you're aware of this, hopefully you can listen as I talk, but we're going to get as much of this worksheet done today as possible. If we don't finish it all, no problem. We'll finish it up on Monday. Remember, there's no class tomorrow. Then what I'm going to do by the end of the period today, all right, is I'm going to email you a second worksheet. But I want to fix it first so that if there's errors on it, I'm going to try to fix those. And I'm going to ask that you try that one on your own. Then when we reconvene on Monday, let's say on Monday we'll start up at 9:05, and I'll give you an hour to work on these and to see how much you can get done, and then we'll work on them as a class for the rest of the period. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Because I've got 3 of these worksheets. They get progressively harder. And I'd like all 3 of them done. If we can get that done by next week, that'd be fantastic. Then we're going to jump back in and we're going to see, like we did in our book, we're going to see how, like our authors did, we can take this database information and put it into C# forms and actually change stuff in the form and have it update the database. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do for the rest of the semester then. And I've got to make sure, Angie, please remind me, because I want to do this before the end of the semester. So if nothing else, Friday, what is it? Friday that's 3 weeks from today, from tomorrow, is May 1st. What I'm going to plan on that day, on May 1st, is we're going to spend some time, and I'm going to make sure that if you haven't already loaded it, Angie, try to go out to mobyrise.com and load it on your computer by then. But I'm going to show you a couple tricks and stuff so you can get ready to start creating your portfolio for the end of the semester. Keegan, I know you said you want to redo yours. Whether you redo it or not is totally up to you. All right, with the weird way that this semester is going with everything, if you want to keep it the way it is and just add your C# stuff, that would be more than fine because your portfolio as it is looked just fine. So that's your call.
Yeah, that's probably what I was gonna do.
All right. Did you both have a chance to put this in?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yes.
Yes.
Angie, okay. All right, then let's go on. I'm going to then jump back onto the worksheet. All right, so there's that one. And what I'm going to do is on mine even, because I've already got that working, underneath here, I'm going to put in the other one. So there's the other one. I'm anal about this stuff if you haven't already figured that out. All right, next, we're going to come in with number 7. Show the query to select all category descriptions, all product names, and all prices, but only for the categories of bikes or wheels. So in other words, when we did this one, it was everything. When we do this one, it's changing. The category has to either be bikes or the category has to be wheels. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So we shouldn't get 40 because you saw we had accessories, we had components, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to grab this. Change my share. All right. And of course, when I copied it over, I screwed some stuff up. Yes, that's not bad. And now you'll notice we have 25 rows, but look at the description. Bikes, wheels. In fact, it's not 25. We've got 7. It starts counting at 0, so the first row is row 0. But notice the description of each one. We have 4 bikes and 3 wheels. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Also, when you look up on the screen here, don't worry, I'll give you time to type this in. Notice this word. That says that we want the price in descending order. If you don't put anything there, it's as though you typed in this. You can type in ASC, but that's considered to be redundant. So there's nothing wrong with doing it, but it's just putting in more than you need. And technically, since that's a keyword, and I've been trying at least to capitalize keywords, all right? So if you would please put in that one. Let me know when it works. And then we're going to go back and try to write this one. This has got the new syntax. We're going to try to rewrite this one using the old syntax.
Mine worked.
All right,
Mine
you got
too.
7? Okay, you both got them then. Great. All right, I just want to copy this back to the worksheet. All right. Okay, so then we want to come in here and we want to redo this again using the other syntax. So what I'm going to say is, let's see, I'm going to change this to where. In fact, from category C, comma, products P, and this will be a where here. And I don't need the word where there. And we're going to see if I got this correct or not correct. Okay. Category C, products P. P dot category ID, C dot category ID. Oh. And this or this. See if that did it. Notice again, now we've got our 7 records. So please put in this query All right. And then copy that to your worksheet as well. To me, a lot of learning this is repetition. And that's why I'm showing it to you two ways. That's why I'm having you type in everything. If all we did was copy and paste, it would be a waste of my time and it would be a waste of your time, in my opinion. Let me know when you've got that done, please.
Are you wanting us to copy that to number 7 or number 8 on the worksheet?
No, I want that number 7. So you're going to have 7 in there twice. Done both the old way or the new way and the old way. Whatever number we're on now. So what number are we on? We're on number 7.
Number 7.
So
Okay,
7
I'm
is
done.
the one that 7 is the one out. What's that?
I'm done.
All right.
I've got it too.
Okay. Let me just, because I'm copying it in right now. So give me a second here. Right, fix that. All right. So this will be number 8. All right. Number 8 says that it's the same query, but we want not equals. Did you hear me? Same query, but we want not equals. So let me go back to where we were. And I'm going to change this to a not. And I'm going to change this to a not. See this? Here and here. All right. And when we run it, we get 24 records. But notice when you look in here, oh, something's wrong. Because we shouldn't have bikes. I think the way the query is crafted is wrong. So let's look at the query again. Let's see. I think we can write this simpler to say not in bikes, comma, wheels. That's much clearer, in my opinion at least. Writing it, it looks a lot nicer too for this. And ending quote is expected. There. All right, let me run this. All right. And now we got 33. What's good about that? You may or may not remember we got 7 before on the last query. Now we get 33. Why does that matter? Because 33 plus 7 is 40. And just so you know, if I come in here and I select count star from products, in other words, tell me how many records, product records we have. What do we get? We get 40, which is the same thing as our 7 that we just had, plus the 33 you get from here. So please put in this one. All right, we're not gonna keep writing these joins twice. All right, I'm just gonna, this one is fine the way it is. But run it, make sure you get 33, and let me know.
I did.
right.
I'm trying to get it. I'm getting errors.
What are the errors that you're getting?
It's a syntax error.
Well, I'd go back then and look at what you typed in and make sure you don't have any mistypings. Does it say what the error is?
Yeah, it's still telling me that it's a syntax error at the on line 7, where it says product price. But I mean, mine's the exact way that yours is, so I don't really know what the problem is.
All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do the same thing? Take a screenshot, send it to me. We're going to go on, but we'll fix it. All right. Now, look on the screen, please, both of you. The previous example that we just did, couldn't we have also written it like this? I took the word not out of there.
I fixed it. Never mind.
Okay. I took the word not out of there. This should come back with 7. See that? That probably is a cleaner way of writing the last problem than what I showed you originally. Either one works. But that's a little cleaner way of doing it. So I just took out the word not from there. All right. And again, that was number 7. You don't have to do it that way. And like we said, there's a bunch of ways that we can do this. All right. And I'm not going to say, hey, this way that I just showed you, do it this way because it's the best way. No. To me, still, when you're learning anything, the best way of doing it is the way that makes the most sense to you. And the way that it makes the most sense to me and the way that it makes the most sense to you might be 2 different things. All right? And that's totally fine. All right, I'm just fixing mine up from the previous page here. Of course, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go on then to number 9. Okay. The message came up a couple minutes ago, again, that I'm running out of time. Sorry this keeps happening, but you know what? This keeps happening. So what I'm going to do is it's 10:08. Let's start up again at 10:15 in about 7 minutes. All right, so I'll see you back then.